Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Quite a few of you have been asking me about this apparent ban of talkSPORT from the Fury camp. What do I think of it? Do I have an opinion? Well, let me be totally transparent. I don't listen to talkSPORT. I know what they are. I watch things on YouTube, like interviews between Simon Jordan and Frank Warren, or they had a little panel once where they were talking about Dubois. And I don't have a high opinion of any of this because it strikes me that an awful lot of them, apart from maybe one or two boxers they might have on as guests, but certainly that the so-called journalists, which would be Simon Jordan, Gareth A. Davis, a couple of others, they don't seem to know anything about boxing. Or more importantly, they don't seem to know anything about boxing history. They seem to pick up on little sort of factoids that are floating around about the modern game and then pontificate about it. And it doesn't seem to me like they really have much of a clue what they're talking about. And yet, as is the case with Simon Jordan, they get, very opinionated and they state their opinions as facts. So I don't have a lot of time for any of this talkSPORT lot. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But there is a flip side to this, because no one should be really surprised that the Furies have banned them for whatever reason. I don't even know why they have been banned. It seems to me that any criticism, at least that I've heard, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the criticism that I've heard seems extremely mild, and it pertains to the whole Ngannou Fury fight. Is it valid? Is it a cop-out? Is it disrespectful to the fans, and so on and so forth? And ironically, even though I've given Fury, a ton of criticism in the past, I mean, to me, it's just a cash grab. It's not even a boxing match. I'm stunned that the British Boxing Board of Control are going to actually sanction this ludicrous fight. I can only assume, it's not even a fight really, but I can only assume that they got involved because of the undercard, which is full of extremely valid competitive fights. The Fury and Ngannou thing doesn't interest me remotely, but the undercard, there's some really good fights on there. I mean, I can't deny it. And I think that's quite kind of a crafty thing to have done, because boxing fans, conventional boxing fans, the so-called hardcore ones, will probably buy this pay-per-view for the undercard and the circus act that's the headline act. That's just a sort of cherry on the cake, if you like. I think that's probably what will happen. So the criticism from talkSPORT, is it about the fact that that's just a ridiculous sideshow? Or is it because of Fury and Usyk? I think it's probably a bit of both. Some criticisms have been, I've heard certain criticisms made. Simon Jordan has rather gently sort of prodded and poked this sort of elephant in the room, if you like, which turned out to be a lion and bit him. But he's kind of been saying, the Fury Usyk, on the 23rd of December, and, why is it taking so long? But very, very mild criticisms. Kind of like when you see him interviewed with Frank Warren, and he's sort of, as opposed to Eddie Hearn, he will go for the jugular with Hearn. But with Warren, it's all very cheery, and it's all very sort of, a cup of Darjeeling and a fondant fancy. We'll all have a nice little cosy chat by the fire. It's that sort of vibe, as mild as they are, have resulted in a ban. Now, this should surprise no one. It should surprise no one, because the Furies insist on absolute devotion to their cause, whatever their cause may be. They insist that everyone accepts anything that comes out of that camp as gospel truth and should never ever question it. They won't even accept constructive criticism. People coming up and saying, have you thought of this? Have you done, what about this? You're doing this, but have you thought about doing the other? No. It's almost a cult. It's almost that type of mentality where you should never, ever, question the great leader. It's like, this sort of North Korea mentality, or a Jim Jones mentality, maybe. Hopefully they won't be drinking any Kool-Aid and whatever, but actually it might improve a few of them. But they accept absolutely no criticism whatsoever. You must be an absolute slavish devotee to their cause, to their brand, to everything that comes out of their mouths, them being Tyson and John Fury especially, but Frank Warren as well, or you're the enemy. Out, get out. We don't want anything to do with you. I mean, I go back, quite a few months, or it might even be a year or so, to that True Jordi thing with Tyson Fury. This has really revealed his colours in that, because True Jordi was respectful to Tyson Fury, but had questions to ask, as any proper journalist should. I mean, I don't think True Jordi is a journalist. I think he classed himself as a journalist, but he was asking good questions, and Tyson Fury flipped, started insulting him. It was all sort of ad hominem attacks, and really quite childish and disgraceful, really. And that's what they're like. But a journalist, a proper journalist, whether it's a radio journalist, a print journalist, television journalist, you've got to ask the awkward questions. You shouldn't be there to be anyone's mate, which is why, someone like Gareth A. Davis, who I did a video of earlier, and go and watch it if you want my opinion on him, he's not a journalist. He's just he kowtows in every possible way to the Fury cause because he wants access to Tyson Fury, because he knows if he has access to Tyson Fury, it can beef up his own, for want of a better word, brand. It's quite disgraceful behaviour from someone who claims to be a journalist. And Gareth A. Davis is a journalist. He has a column with the Daily Telegraph, which, whatever you think of its politics, I don't think much of it, but it's a long established, piece of print journalism. But there he is, when he gets on talkSPORT, talking absolute drivel. And I have to be honest, like I say, that I don't see anyone, even someone like Adam Catterall, who will ask awkward questions. I don't think he's got the boxing knowledge to really follow it through, to really go for the jugular with Frank Warren or Tyson Fury, and really, with anyone who knows about boxing, anyone who pays attention to it, knows about the history of boxing, knows about recent events, has followed the minutiae of it, they will be able to flatten Warren or Fury in a proper debate. But then they don't engage in proper debates, do they? They just start, if you start criticising them or asking awkward questions, they just insult you or get aggressive. I mean, Simon Jordan appears to be terrified of Frank Warren, whereas with Eddie Hearn, he goes for the jugular straight away. And I'm not, by the way, don't get me, if you've watched my videos, you know that my opinion on Hearn, especially with regarding the Conor Benn thing, is quite low. But you have to have consistency. You have to ask the awkward questions to all of them. You can't just be somebody's mate, That's not journalism. It's not journalism at all. You can be balanced and you can be reasonable, objective, but no. So anyway, that's my thought on the ban. It's not surprising. I don't really care, to be honest. Like I say, I don't have a high opinion of talkSPORT, that lot. I don't have a high opinion of the Furies. But yeah, that's my opinion. You asked for it, you got it. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the subscribe button. That would be a big, big help, and I really do appreciate it. And also, if you could hit the like button as well, because they count the likes, apparently. I don't know why, but they do. It's something to do with... I don't know what the hell it is. You tell me. I don't understand YouTube, really. I just run this fucking channel. But anyway, looking forward to reading your comments. Thank you for your time, as always, and I will catch you later. Bye for now.